Yo, what's up? It's your boy Loach, Build Your Legacy Podcast. We're gonna do a little interview right now. Got my boy Hustletown Fit, Alex Reyes, Hustletown Inc. founder, CEO, big businessman right here. And we're just gonna ask him a few questions, let him kind of introduce himself so we can get to know him a little bit better.
Yo, guys, so for those who don't know me out there, just like Loach said right here, good introduction, by the way, bro. Very humbled. My name is Alex Reyes. I'm here representing this podcast, a very good variety of things. So, most people that have seen me in this podcast, I'm the co-star, and I'm sorry, co-host. Can't say I'm star yet, man. You already got a star for that.
We all stars.
This is true. Keep shining, guys. But yeah, I'm the co-host on Build Your Legacy podcast, and also I do promotions with my brand Hustletown Inc. that we'll talk about. So yeah, stay tuned.
So where did you grow up?
So, bro, I grew up in a small town outside of Houston, the Houston city limits, Cleveland, Texas. I was born in Houston, but I was raised out there. Again, like I said, it's a small town. At the time, it was a population of 10,000. My family moved out there, I want to say in 2005. 2005, but again, I was born in Houston city limits up on South Park. I was born in South Park side. People don't know what that is.
Jurassic Park, baby.
Something like that. Yeah, it was definitely Jurassic out there. But yeah, I was raised out there for just a little bit, and that's when I moved to Cleveland. I was about 8 years old. Had lived with a big family. It was my mother, my brother, me, my aunt and uncle, and their 4 daughters. So it was 9 people to a household. Very humbling experience. Just staying with a big family like that. My mom moved here from Mexico in '96. I was born here in '96, April 4th, 1996, baby. Good old shout out to my Aries people out there. And yeah, she came here in '96. She had a vision that she wanted to give me and my brother a better life. So that's why I moved out here in '96.
Lit man. So tell us about like school and work. Like how was that like growing up, like from a kid in Cleveland, and let's talk about how you got to where you are now.
Man. So Cleveland has a big Hispanic population,
Mm-hmm.
and also a lot of African Americans, and there's some Caucasians there too. It was good growing up there. Like I said, again, I had a big family, so I was mostly always around my family. Growing up there, it was good. I wouldn't say, because down south, down here, you have your racist parts.
Yeah.
I didn't really see any racism, personally, to me growing up. But, there was some altercations here and there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's definitely out there. Also being like a small country town, man. Everybody knows everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just, it was just, how it would be like an immigrant just moving over here. It was still kind of all new to me too, just staying out of the country because I was in the city for some time. So just that transition was very different. My first time ever seeing like trees like that too. Horses, cows, everything. It's a small country town, Cleveland, Texas, man. Bro, that's where I'm from. Growing up there in my teenage years, it was very, I would say confusing time, because, when you're a teenager, you go through, the whole motions of things, stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that. It was very good. I didn't do sports at that time. I didn't do any sports just because I didn't have a ride after school and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't really go into any after school activities. But I was a very talkative person, man. Like if you were to walk up to me and just start a conversation, I would just start talking to you.
Yeah.
I've always been that way. I've always been someone that they can just start a conversation with, bro, and just easy going.
Mm-hmm.
Just how I was raised too. So that's how I was in my teenage years. Graduated in 2014 from Cleveland High School, And then
What was your mascot?
my mascot was the Indian.
Shout out the Indians. You know what I'm saying?
Indians out there, man. Yeah, the Indians. And after high school, I moved to Virginia actually, and I actually lived out there for some time. Very different. It was definitely. They say that the whole world is out there because I was living in D.C. It was like straight capital of the United States. So I did see a whole bunch of races out there, a lot of culture, a lot of people from Europe, Africa, Asia. Saw a lot of Asians. But believe it or not, there wasn't a lot of Mexicans out there, you know, and that's what I was used to, you know, just being around my people. Like the most I got to see was Salvadorans and Hondurans. Bro, there's a lot of Salvadorans out there in DC, and shout out to DC guys. Like that place was life changing.
Would you learn about yourself in DC?
That I can overcome any obstacle by myself. I can do it. Like anybody out there watching it, like if you're going to a new city or just going exploring and traveling, I recommend it. It's one of the best things that can probably happen to you. You get to see a little bit more of the world, and then you get to see that it's, no matter where people are in the world, like they still have similar things in common. You know, they still love the same. You know, they still laugh the same. You know, it was a very humbling experience.
Was it more like a lonely time, like being in, since you weren't like around more of your people, it was kind of like fending for yourself at that time?
Yes, and it also helped me appreciate where I came from. I won't say I was lonely. Again, because like eventually I knew that it would have to be me on my own.
Or more like instead of lonely, isolated.
Guess you could say that, yeah. There wasn't a lot of my people out there, so there wasn't really no relation. But again, it was also I was grateful for that because it made me appreciate where I'm from more. You know, I didn't meet a whole lot of people from Houston over there, and that's when I kind of started getting more in tune with myself. Like really, like okay, starting to build my identity because like I went straight out of high school, so I was still learning things about myself. You know, as a youngster, you're still trying to find your identity, see what it is, and over there is just like really where I started experiencing more like those real life situations, you know, because DC was a metropolis, man. Like, you got the subway station, you got the metro, you go everywhere. Unlike here in Houston, you had to have a car to go everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, so you had to drive over there, bro. It was like a vast world that opened up for me. And I met people from all over the place. So that brought me their culture and their point of view on life too. So I was like, okay, this is why people think like this, and all things that I think a youngster wouldn't have experienced if he were to stay in his hometown. Yeah. You know? So that was a very, very, again, a very humbling experience for me. I got to see a lot, you know. And I got to see some bad stuff too, man. But that's also one thing that I appreciate that for it because it taught me how to, you know, be more aware of things. Yeah. So it was very humbling.
Would you say that was like your toughest time so far at this point in your life? Was that like your toughest period in life?
I won't say it was tough. It was just trying to see where I would go next, right? Like, it was a time where, again, I was finding myself a little bit more, you know? Because if you're stuck in the same spot and you don't really go venture out and go see other things, and that's all you really know, right? You don't get to see, again, like other people's point of views on things, you know, things that challenge you. Yeah. You know, I think as a man, you had to have those challenges come to you. You know, I was raised by a single mom, so it was always something that there's only so much she could teach me. You know, she embedded that worth ethic in me, those morals, those values. But there's only so much, personally for me, just talking right now, there's only so much a woman can teach you, you know. As a man, yeah, she can show you how to love and all of that, but can she show you how to work, like truthfully? Like, because, again, as a man, you feel the most content when you build something. Like, you leave something behind. That's our purpose. I believe is to have something left behind so you can build up on that and leave it to your family and to your son, and his son can get it to his son, and so on and so on.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a tough time. It was I guess you can say it was a time where I was just being built. You know, I was being built into what I'm eventually going to be destined to do.
Yeah, definitely, man. And just to talk about that point where you talk about mothers like molding men, right? It's just certain things that mothers can't, like. I hear a saying that says mothers turn babies into boys, you know, but fathers turn boys into men.
Yep.
So it's just like, it's just certain things within us as men, right, that only a man can teach us, right? Just like how to love like a man, because women love differently than how men love.
Yeah, they're more. A woman is more. I guess you can say she has the energy of a mother. You know, she's built
Nurture.
to love. She's built to nurture. You know, as men, we're made to show the logical side of things. That, you know, that biological sense in us. Like, you know, back in the day, you had to go and actually hunt, right? You can't let that emotion of fear get to you, because then the whole pack wouldn't eat, right?
Yeah.
Then who would be there to feed everybody? I mean, if I went and go based off how I felt that day, I wouldn't get nothing done.
Yeah.
You know, I had to go do this. I had to go do it. It is what it is.
Yeah.
It's your duty. So.
Exactly, man. So when I met you, we started with the fitness, right? We did a lot of training. We still do a lot of training. So tell us, how did you get into fitness? You have your own fitness company, Hustle Fitness. Yeah. And tell us about your beginnings there and where you are now.
For sure. I got into fitness actually like my junior year in high school. Again, I never played sports. I just couldn't. But I had a homeboy, Kevin Zanders, bro. Shout out to Steel, man. If you're watching this, bro, hey, man, you have no idea how much you made an impact in my life. He invited me one day to the gym because he'll work out, bro. You know, boy was cut up. And he's like, hey, man, come to the gym with me. I'm like, bet, I'll go. I'll go check it out, see what's up. And got under the bench thing, the bench press, and started lifting. And I was like, oh, you know, this is easy.
Yeah.
You know, I can do this. You know, and again, I never did sports, so this was something of a gateway for me.
Yeah.
And then I started doing it more, but I didn't really get into the whole fitness aspect until after I graduated and I went to Virginia. I didn't know nobody or anything like that out there, so the closest gym to me was Planet Fitness. So I would walk there, and that's where I would do my, my whole routines and stuff like that. At the time, I still didn't have an understanding of the vast, knowledge that fitness brings into your life. For me, at the time, I was just doing it, you know what I'm saying, just to look good, have some muscles here and there, just as most people would do, right? Just to look good. But then eventually it turned into something more, bro. It turned into consistency. It turned into something I could say, bro, this really brings some sort of feeling inside of me, bro. I just can't explain it. It's like turning your weakness into strength, bro. That's my philosophy in fitness, is that you can, no matter what position you are in life, you can build yourself up some way, somehow. So it was around 2018. That's when I started doing my, the whole vast of researching, actually taking the time to go and learn about your macros, how certain food affects your body and your overall being, how it affects your mind. And in 2021, that is when I got my personal training certification. I got it through the ISSA, the International Sports Science Association. The reason I found them out is through this coach that I found out. Back in Virginia, I used to work at a bar, bro, and I was security there.
Okay.
Yeah. Believe it or not, the way I got that job, because in Virginia, you had to be 21 to work at a bar. Just regardless, either if you're a host or whatever, it's just law. That my uncle was doing security at that bar, and he told the manager about me, but he lied about my age. Yeah, bro. He said I was 22, but at the time I was like 19.
Yeah.
19, bro, and then like he got me a job at just doing security in downtown DC, bro. It was a bar called Buffalo Billiards. They're not there now, from the last time I heard. But I was doing security there, bro. You know, bar fights. You know, the whole aspect of nightlife. I saw the DC nightlife, bro.
Yeah.
It was a humbling experience. So at the time, I was doing security, and bro, I was still kind of skinny, if you will, you know, lower, just less toned than I am now. And then one of the security guys, big old black dude, bro. I'm talking about Jamar. Jamar, if you're watching this too, man, shout out to you, dog. Like, bro, you put me on. He put me on to this book called Jailhouse Strong. This is who I'm repping right now, guys. On my shirt, I wear this shirt with pride. Like, honestly, like Jailhouse Strong was written by a strength coach by the name of Josh Bryant. Overall, he has done strength almost his whole life. He has dedicated his life to learning the aspects of how to get stronger in the gym for bodybuilders, powerlifters, anybody who wants to specify in their sport. He was a coach. When I read that book, it opened my eyes to a whole different realm. Because Jailhouse Strong, for people who are curious of what it is, it's Jailhouse Strong. Jailhouse is his aspect. Josh took his time to go and interview people, the people who are behind bars and people who are inmates, and he interviewed them and to see how they are in there, because most of the time when guys go in there, they come out fucking jacked, bro. And then people are like, all right, they have, sometimes they don't even have access to good nutrition. Talk about tuna spreads, bro. Like
ramen noodles.
Ramen noodles every day. They some prisons out there in America, they take away your privilege, or they don't even have gyms in there, bro.
Oh wow.
So it's nothing but body weight workouts, talking about squats, calisthenics, pull-ups, like endless amounts of reps. And so he interviewed these prisoners and got their side of things. So in that aspect, their motto is, you got no excuse. If people behind bars can do this shit and get the results that they want, like they're in an environment where they have to survive, and some of those prisoners, their way to feel free, to be able to feel like they're not there, is through going through some physical development in their life. You know, where they're in their lowest point, bro, but that's not going to stop them to go and achieve what they want. And that's changing their body, and eventually changing your body. I humbly believe that once you change your body, you start changing your mind, and eventually you start changing your spirit. You know, again, there's a feeling that most people get when they're working out. Some people just can't explain it. Some people are addicted going to the gym. As crazy as it sounds, bro, people are addicted to going and feeling pain. Like it's just something pleasurable for them, or it's just. But it came to an understanding that that's their way of feeling free, of feeling like I'm not a prisoner in my own mind. I can free myself. You know, that goes through a lot of things that are going on with mental health nowadays. You know, so that also plays a key part in why I chose fitness, because it helps people feel different. It makes them feel like they're not stuck in a perpetual cycle. You know, there's more to life than just doing the same old routine, feeling like you are a prisoner, man. So Josh, his brand, Jailhouse Strong, and guys, I don't get paid by them. I don't get sponsored by them. This is solely because I really believe in what they say. I really I follow by religion. I base my life when I found them, that my whole life changed, bro. I saw something more different than fitness and just looking good. It's a way to make yourself strong and then make other people strong too. So I really owe Josh Bryan, if you're watching this, man, like, hope one day I get to train with you, bro. It's gonna be great. And thank you, like, really thank you for everything you've done up to this point. And because without him, I wouldn't have joined the ISSA. I wouldn't be a personal trainer right now. So my brand is Hustle Fitness. My motto behind it is building consistency and fortitude. And for the average person out there watching, who are thinking about going to the gym, just do it, guys. Why I name it Hustle Fitness is for the hustlers out there. Also, because I come from Hustle Town, baby. You know what I'm saying? Baby. Like, it's for the hustlers out there. My methods are something that I got taught that through the ISSA, and also my own into my own methods. Like, so my method is you got no excuse. If you have a body, you have gravity, something, you're gonna fucking put in that work one way or another.
Yep.
So Hustle Fitness, guys, y'all can follow me on there at hustlefitness.832. I go with some group training. I do online training. I do the whole nutrition aspect of things. I do the mindset. Hey, man, I'm out here. So if y'all want to reach out to me, hustlefitness.832.
Sweet. So let's shift over. You got Hustle Town Fitness. Let's shift over to Hustle Town Inc. So tell us what that's about, man. You putting a lot of brands on there. I see you. I met you through unassociated brand called Hustle Town Network, where I did a concert there, and I met Alex there, representing Hustle Town Inc., which I thought they were together, but they were not. So tell us about Hustle Town Inc., man.
Yeah, so Hustle Town Inc., man, this is one of my endeavors that I do. Hustle Town Inc. came to me, say last year, when I got my personal trainer certification. I was in a place called Gonzales, Texas. I was actually doing some business with this, with a businessman, but that business didn't turn out the way I expected it to be. So I had moved there from Houston to Gonzales, and then I moved back. So at that point, you can say that was my tough time, because I went out there looking for something that I thought was going to come to fruition, but I didn't. I felt like I failed. So when I came back, I was still in the state of mind, like, all right, what am I going to do next? I got to do something. And at the time, that business I was helping, I created an Instagram page for them. I actually did the footwork myself, and I would go around. At the time, I was working at this sweater shop, like sweater warehouse. We were there was over 1,000 people employed there. The guy who found it, he saw a business opportunity when COVID hit. We were making plastic gowns actually for hospitals.
Okay.
But it was so corrupted in there, bro. Like the whole work environment was shit. It was crap. Like they had people cutting themselves up in there.
Oh, wow.
And, it was pretty much like you go in, if you injure yourself, you're out. But at the time, since there were so many people, in that warehouse, I got connected with everybody. Like, I would go and talk to people because I was trying to help this other guy's business grow. So I created an Instagram page. So when I came back to Houston after that experience, I had over, I want to say 100 organic followers, bro. I would talk to just people. So everything all the footsteps, all the footwork I did was purely organic. These were people I actually met in real life. Even if I talked to them for 2-3 minutes, at the time, they would follow that page. So when I came back, I was like, okay, what else can I do? What else to a conversation we were having earlier this week? I was trying to find a purpose, man. I was trying to find something else to do. So I started thinking. It took some time until one day it came to me, man. I was like, all right, well, I love the city I'm from. How can I bring value to that? So, and it popped up in my head. Well, I like helping out people. That's my love language, to the best that I can, right? So I was like, well, why don't I start a promotional page? help promote small businesses, help promote people with services. Since I was a personal trainer, I was like, all right, well, this can kind of go in hand with what I do, since I'm also trying to connect myself. So yeah, that night that you were talking about when I first met you, that was the first event I ever went to. Because I had a homeboy who would sell his own candy, and he had his and he told me about the event. I was like, hey, bro, why don't you come up? Because he was like at the time he was the only one I really told about what I was doing with the promotion. Like, hey, bro, come up and come network. I was like, bet, yeah, why not? I'll go. It was like a cool night, bro. Cause I remember, again, you had performed.
Yeah.
And that's when I saw like the whole aspect of what was going on in the city. You know, I was like, man, what the hell? You know, what the hell's going on out here? It had vendors, it had artists, it had musicians. I'm like, all right, I kind of see the vision was going on. So that alone in itself, Hustletown Inc., because it stands for Incorporated. What I'm trying to do with this whole thing is get eyes on Houston, man. Get eyes on this great city that I'm from, man. Because there's a lot of people that have moved here. It's a fluctuation of hustlers that are here making this place their home. And something that I see is that a lot of them that started a small business was they just didn't know where to start. They didn't know how to promote themselves, how to do that. So that's my way of serving other people, is to help them out the best that I can when it comes to this promotion. Eventually, I want to expand and bring all Houston together, man. Like, because again, there's room for everybody to eat here, man.
Yeah.
You can't be greedy. There's an opportunity like no other in this city. Like, I'm telling you, guys, like this city is like gold right here. That's why I want other people to see that. Honestly, it's just, and again, I'm not getting paid for this. I'm not getting sponsored by nobody. It's all my free will when I'm done after work. Cause I do have my other job that I do primarily. So even when I'm done with that, I still find the time to go out and find people who want to be promoted, who want to be shouted out there by me and my team. So yeah, guys, Hustletown Inc. is a brand that honestly is a movement that I found with my vision, and it's gonna be even more. It's only gonna be getting better than this.
Yeah.
Bro. Like, honestly. So guys, tap in if you don't want yourselves to get promoted. Find me and my team at Hustletown Inc. on Instagram. We're working on some other things too with interviews. I call hustler interviews. So if you guys want some interviews, holla at your boy.
Sweet. All right, last but not least, man, let's talk about the internal space, right? The ideology, your faith. What's that looking like, man? You know, we gotta talk about Build Your Legacy podcast. Yeah. You gotta start with that. You know, when you building your legacy, let's talk about your journey and your faith life and your ideology, like what shapes your mind and, you know, what keeps you going.
What shapes my mind, what keeps me going? The love I have for people. You know, my mom always embedded that in me and my brother, to help out as much as you possibly can, you know, to be able to be a beacon, a light to somebody, you know, because again, what I was saying earlier, there's a lot of people who have mental health issues, you know, and I just want to say that you're not alone in this shit, guys. Like, honestly, like, talk to people, talk to me, talk to your neighbor. I'm here for y'all, man. Like, whatever I can do in my power right now is, I'm gonna help you out. You know, that's why I also got into fitness, the whole aspect of it, because it's about helping other people, it's serving other people. So, and my ideology is try to do good as much as you can. I'm not gonna sit here and preach to y'all guys. Like, again, like, I'm not a perfect person. I do, you know, things just like as an average guy, but something that my faith has really opened up these past couple of years, because I used to not believe in God. I was like, why would He put us on this earth to suffer, or be around crime, or be around greed, and be around evil stuff? But then I just opened up my mind and my heart a lot more, and then those answers came to me. They say if you pray, those answers are gonna come to you. Probably not right away, but eventually.
Mm-hmm.
And you keep being consistent with it. So my ideology is do as much good as you possibly can. Yeah, I'm gonna sin from time to time, but you shouldn't let that put you in the position that you used to be. I could say since I was a kid, since my teenage years, I look back at it and like, man, all right, I came far. I still fuck up from time to time, but I'm aware of it.
Mm-hmm.
So those are the things I work with every day, and I know God and I having a good relationship. At the end of the day, I'm gonna get to where I want to be. Just having that belief and that faith in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever you're doing out there, guys, do it with good intentions. Do it like that you are trying to be good. Pretend that God's always watching. Just do the best that you possibly can, and everything's gonna play out. Honestly, it's as simple as that, man. Have that belief in yourself. Have that self-confidence that only God can give you. So that's my analogy. That's
cool.
my faith.
Cool, man. Well, that wraps it up, bro.
That wraps it up, guys. Hey, man, Loach, I appreciate you for having me, man.
Yeah, for sure, bro.
Thank you.
That's the Build Your Legacy podcast. This is a special segment. We doing interviews, get to know a little bit about who we talking to, and like where they are in the mental health space and where they came from. A lot of times we don't really get to tell our story, in a everyday average setting, but it's nice to, unfold yourself into. I feel like the more that you do that, the more that you talk about yourself, the more you kind of discover yourself more. We're all on a journey and discovering the world and discovering ourselves. So this is great, man. I'm glad we got to talk, man.
Hell yeah, man. Yeah. Stay tuned for more great interviews by this man.
Yeah, for sure, man. All right, we out of here, man. Ghost Gang.
That was great. All right.
Cool.
Hell yeah.